Hello out there in the U's and the tubes and the Twitters and Twitchland and all that happiness. Welcome. We are doing a little bit of Starfinder and Svenzone. And we are live. Uh, as always, we have our awesome players with us tonight. Logan, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
And Jingo, how are you?
I'm doing really good.
And your camera is off, sir.
Is it? Oh,
And
crap. I will fix that right away.
Reno, how are you tonight?
I am doing okay.
And Roberta will be joining us any moment. Actually, she is here. Let me fix her camera. How are you, Roberta?
Doing pretty good. Just grabbing coffee and food.
There we are. Awesome, awesome. All right. Um, Bobby is here. He's just dealing with some other minor stuff, so he should be joining us any second. Um, so last week was quite an exciting adventure. Um, the party finished the fight and were able to secure the cargo that they were told to go get. But then, as they were starting to do that, they received a message saying, "Hey, you've been replaced. You need to come back to the office." And as they were receiving that message, they saw a shuttle coming toward them. And in that shuttle, there were three people. Here it is: a Callow Mystic, a Noir, and a Yosoki female. The Noir are the interesting looking, almost Minotaur type people.
Huge.
The Callows are an aquatic species and live in a. Actually, it might be a gas giant, one of the two, but the point is they hover and sort of glide along as they move along.
That is a cool ability to have.
And a Yosoki female. So the three of them came, brought you all a shuttle that you then jumped in, took off, went back to the office, and on your way back to the office, you saw a news report. And the news report also was another Yosoki reporter, and I believe it was Virgie who rolled on the computer check and said, "Hey guys, check this out." And you saw this female Yosoki dressed to the nines with different piercings in her ears and some um, very nice dress and makeup, which is interesting to do in a mouse face, but it was very well done. Hair all done up nice. And the report went like this. This is Dirtbath, your favorite Isoki reporter here with the Akaton update. The far portal has fallen into the sun. Now, for those of you who may not know, I know I didn't. The far portal is a ring of unknown origin that has orbited the sun's corona since before the gap. Believed to be a gate into the plane of fire. Ooh, that sounds warm. The portal has remained dormant until last week when a ship and a fire whale, yes, that's right, a fire whale came through the portal. A Midnight Corps team was hired to rescue and retrieve the ship, called the Breath of Embers, and transport it to the far portal station. Now, Far Portal Station has been around for more than 200 years as a place for scientists and mystics to study the far portal. 90 minutes ago, the orbit of the portal started to deteriorate, and the far portal has fallen into the corona and continues to plummet into the sun. Tune in tomorrow for coverage from Far Portal Station as Biz Aldrin of Absalon Investigates will be talking to those scientists and mystics I was talking about to determine what they know about these bizarre events taking place right next to the sun.
Dun dun dun.
Stay tuned because after the break, I'll be bringing you the latest updates on the recent attacks on the convoys that have plagued the mining consortium for the last few months. This is Dirtbath, and I will see you in 2 minutes. And then we'll cut to a commercial. So as you guys race back to the office, you spoke to Tiknuk, and he said that you had been recalled to go back to Far Portal, and you had jumped into your ship and taken off. You had also found, as you were scanning other news reports, that there was a small sidebar of the Midnight Corps was pursuing litigation for the right of salvage on the Breath of Embers. And the right of salvage is something similar to what we have today, where if you find certain things, then whoever finds it keeps it. And it can claim right to what that is, if it's old enough and if it doesn't belong to somebody else. And there's certain rules and regulations, but the Midnight Corps was now trying to claim rights to the Breath of Embers, the ship you guys found.
Awesome.
So you jumped into your ship, took off, and as you left, you were greeted after you got about an hour away from Akaton. You were greeted by a couple ships. And does anybody remember what those ships were?
They were trying to scam us.
Yeah, they were faking it.
So they were saying that you had missed out. You had left so quickly that you had not been charged the proper tariffs, and a simple 1,000 credit fee was all that was needed to make things right again. And they requested you to send the information. They sent you a link to where to send it. You guys chose
Pretty
not
much.
to.
We told them where they could shove it.
And
Now we did.
a fight has ensued. And that is where we left off.
Suspicious bank location in the Cayman Islands.
So we have not done this in a while because I am one of the mind that we don't need character introductions every single time we play, especially for those watching on YouTube and stuff. Taking the time to do that all the time gets redundant, but it's been a while. So let's start with Jingo. Tell us a little bit about Dr. Dade.
The good doctor is a man of science. He believes in the scientific method and that science can solve just about anything. He's kind of, somewhat skeptical about the use of magic, although he doesn't deny that it exists and that it works. He just would prefer to find a technological way to solve things, and likes experimenting as well. He's kind of a lab rat.
Alrighty, and we'll just go from right to left. So Verti, tell us a little. Logan, tell us a little bit about Verti.
Man, well, he is a Vesk Vanguard And he. Oh, jeez. Maybe I should, like, fix my sleep schedule. And sorry, he get back to me or something. Jeez. Maybe I should, like.
So the image I shared with you guys, that's also on stream, is very close to the actual size of the characters. So while Verti is the tallest, Twitch is by far the biggest. And that little furry thing next to the dock is his pet Squawk's companion. But that brings us to the shortest, but definitely not the least of the group, and that is Orindor. So Reno, tell us a little bit about Orindor.
Orindor Storm. He is a scholar and a technomancer. From nobility. He's social, but not overly social. He has a lot of friends back in his social circles and whatnot, and his college friends and whatnot. But he studies magic as well as technology, and is very dapper. He likes his toys.
Very nice. All right, and that brings us to Loki. So, Bobby, tell us a little bit about Loki.
I forgot what race he is. What? I forgot. I wasn't ready to do this.
He's a Patra, P-A-H-T-R-A, Patra.
Okay, yeah. He's. I'm not any good at this.
It's okay, no worries. So Patra is he's a Patra,
Cat,
which is a
right.
feline race. He's also a technomancer, but his build is slightly different than Orindor, and as they continue to level up, you'll see as they split off into their own little ways and stuff. I personally like it when people play the same classes, especially in Starfinder, because there's so many different variations. And the other thing we play, we have dual mystics, and they're totally different from each other. You wouldn't even know that they're the same race. I mean, the same class, watching them in a fight and stuff. So it's pretty cool. So I'm excited to see how Orindor and Loki go their separate ways. We also have a biohacker in the other game, and it's totally different from Doc. So it's cool how those work. All right, so Roberta, tell us a little bit about Twitch.
So Twitch is a Bolita, and quite different than a character I've actually played before. I'm not a big fan of earwigs, but my character looks like a gigantic earwig and a potato bug all wrapped into one. Which he can do. He can roll into a ball to either attack you or evade you, which is kind of pretty cool. He's very tall. I forget how tall he is, but prefers to be in very hot climates, does a lot of stuff underground, and current occupation, other than hanging out with this group of wandering adventurers, is a bounty hunter. His profession is a bounty.
So it's interesting. He is also, as you mentioned, used to being underground and away from the bright lights. And so far, he's been next to the sun, and on Akaton, which is a desert planet next to the sun, and then on Akaton, which is a desert planet.
And
Now
we're
it's
already
going back
playing
to the
Woody.
sun.
Hi, Mr.
So,
Stern. Can you say hi?
Oh, he's talking right now. Hold on.
hello, hello. We have a little one visiting. grab the camera.
Wave. All right, what did you need?
Just what you.
Oh,
It's all right. All right, so I do want to remind you guys about the calendar. If you're not familiar with it, you can up in the top right where the combat tracker and your options and all that stuff are. There's a link to the calendar, and you can. I try to keep that up to date. So anything that has a little red dot, you can double click on that date, and it'll pull up that day, and it has notes on and times as to what happened on those days. So you can always go back from the start of the campaign to see, catch yourself up if you find any days and times that's going on. One of these years, in the next couple of sessions, probably we'll add birthdays and stuff on there, but for now, we'll leave it as is. All right, so let's get back to the action of this starship combat.
They're going down.
All right, so go ahead and check your roles, ROLE, on your combat in your character sheet. There is a section there that says ships.
I'm going to switch back to engineer now that a couple people are back.
So right now I show that Doc is captain, Twitch is the engineer, Loki, Verti are gunners, and Orindor is magic officer. Don't forget, you really don't need a pilot unless you're going to be doing crazy things that require rolls. Most of the time, if you're just moving your ship, you don't need that fancy stuff. And I think it was determined that nobody had ranks in piloting, except for maybe Doc. So that's something you guys may want to think about
Doc
going
does not.
forward.
He plans on it.
Okay. Piloting can also be used for any vehicle. So if you guys plan on getting, any type of land vehicle as well, can also be used for piloting. That's the only one that really is unique. So one of the cool things I like about Starfinder is that your engineer uses engineering, your science officer uses computers. So these are not just things that are only used during starship combat. Except for piloting, which doesn't come up as often. The other things are good all the way around. There's also mindful blank. There's also a first mate role as well. They use more acrobatics and athletics, so physically tearing things apart and moving things around. So be taking a look at those. Is everybody satisfied, or does anybody want to change their role before we go to the next phase?
Do we have a science officer?
If it helps, the last thing I remember happening is me launching 2 torpedoes at the ship and missing one of them.
Yes, one hit, one missed. Yep.
All right, where can I see what our crew assignments are? Or can I?
I don't know that so
Do
as a
we have an
player,
engineer? Do we have an engineer and a
yes.
science officer currently
No.
assigned?
No
Not a science officer?
Engineer,
I'm going to switch from captain to science officer because I can do things as a science officer. As a captain, I'm fairly ineffective.
So Jingo, grab the party sheet. What are the tabs you have? Main inventory. Do you have a ship's tab?
I have a ship's tab. I see.
Okay.
I see it there. I think I'm going to have to reassign it here on my character sheet.
Yeah, that's where you have to do it.
Yeah,
But
have
you
to
can
do it
see a
on,
list of
but
who everybody is.
what I'm saying is that's where you could see what everybody is. If you have a ship's tab,
okay.
That's the only place I know of that you can take a look at in one shot and see everybody. Most people don't care. That's why I don't really worry about it. But yes, the only place you can change where you are is on the party sheet. I mean, in your character sheet.
I'm moving to science officer.
All right, so let me go ahead and you guys have about 60 seconds to grab the assignment you want, and then we're going to move on while I try to too many moving parts. There it is. Boom. There we go. Boom.
Have we done scans on this ship? On the
Yeah,
ships you're
yes,
facing?
Yes.
Do we know what kind of weapons they have?
Yeah, I thought we had.
And they're not doing very well. They were already damaged when they decided to challenge us for money, idiots.
Control. Shift. There we go.
All right.
Son of a mother. I
believe
not ignoring
I
anybody.
mentioned to them that they needed to either back down or would be suffering some consequences, giving them a chance to retreat. I don't think they were keen on that idea, if I remember correctly.
Too bad. I will not be extorted. Are they humans? Or do we even know?
I don't think they are.
Verti was able to determine, or he believes they are space goblins from the way they talk. Alright, I'm having issues mechanically. Give me just a second, guys. I'm almost there. They made some recent changes to OBS, the thing I stream with, and so what I normally do in 2 seconds is taking me a little bit longer than that. Alright, shift, control, 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 alt,
Space Bridge trolls. Da 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 da.
All right, there we go. Close enough. All right, so by the way, Space Bridge Trolls. There you go. Exactly. So let's move on to the next phase. So engineering phase. Twitch, what would you like to do?
What can I do now? We've damaged them. Can I do a rescan or no? Or is that the science off?
That's the science officer. The engineer,
Okay.
you can do things like target lock. You can boost different parts of the ship, like the gunner or the
Oh yeah,
piloting.
let's do the target. Where is that at? Guys, calculate. Snapshot.
The ship has its own resolve points.
No.
Or not.
No. If an action calls for resolve points, you have to expend it. But look carefully at those abilities. A lot of them require 6 ranks. In other words,
Correct.
you have to be level 6 in order to pull them off.
Okay.
Yeah, so divert is what we're talking about.
Thank you. That's what I want to do. Divert into one of your starships, giving it a boost for this round. Oh, what was the targeting one where I could boost the targeting so that whenever we shot at it, it would be.
That's a science officer thing. I can do that when my turn comes.
So divert,
Alright.
You can boost the damage.
you can boost the damage. You can boost your speed.
Oh, let's boost the damage.
Okay, so give it a roll. Now some of the
Magic
DCs
officer.
are incorrect. So as we go along, I will verify and make sure that the DCs are correct. This one is correct. It is DC 11. So
Where does the magic officer come in? At what point?
there you go.
I do have a couple of
Depends on
aggressive
what you
things
want to
I can
do.
do. Well, I was thinking about the Mystic Haze, but
Okay.
but Doc was saying about the levels. I don't see anywhere we're saying about the levels of what they would need to have.
Starship, nope, that's character operations manual. I think. All right, so let me look at your.
I would think the magic officer is like the science officer and goes during the helm phase.
So if you look at things like psychic currents, it says 12 ranks in mysticism.
Where are you seeing that?
Scrying.
Okay, at the very top of it. Okay, yeah, okay. I was
Scrying.
looking at scrying is
Mystic Haze is. You can try that, but the DC is, first of all, it uses one of your resolve points, and the DC is 20. For you, it would be 22, a DC 22. So, and you have a +4, so that means you would have to roll an 18 or higher to do it.
okay. Just wanted to find out what the deal was with that.
It looks like the magic officer, the only one is the psychic currents that require a certain number of ranks.
Right.
But so if you do Eldritch Shot, then you can do that anytime and before the gunner phase. So you can do that now.
Okay.
It boosts one of your weapons. Precognition is a piloting check, which you guys aren't using right now, so you don't need to do that.
Right.
And that would be done during the helm phase, or just before the pilot goes. So most of what you do, you can do scrying. So most of what you do can be done now during the engineering phase. Almost
Okay.
all of your stuff can be done in the engineering phase.
Well, I'm assuming that we're going to be firing at them, so we want to do the Eldritch shot.
I vote for it.
I don't have the map of where we are to know if that would be a useful thing or not. It would add on 5 hexes to our range, but if we're already close enough, it wouldn't really matter.
Right.
Whereas,
Did you get the map?
So yes, it did.
Okay. So you have
So we're
one that's
actually
close range and one's long range right
far
now.
range. Okay, yeah. So if we're gonna shoot at the long range one, I'll boost the gun for that, or the missile, whatever we're using.
So you have the torpedo launchers, which really don't need it, and then you have the gyro laser. So the gyro laser would be the one that you can use that on if you want.
Okay. So I click it, the one I want, and then do the roll.
Yes. There you go.
Nice.
All right. So you have boosted the gyro lasers, and it says treats the range of the weapon as 5 hexes longer than normal. Awesome. So the cool thing about that is it's cumulative. So in other words, for every increment of range, you get a -2. So it's now +5 for each increment. So it's pretty nice. All right. Anybody else doing anything in the engineering phase?
Nope.
So your damage, any ones that you roll will now be a 2 automatically, and you have a longer range for your gyro lasers. All right, helm phase. So Captain, give me a. Actually, no. If you don't have Captain, it's
We
you.
do not have a
You guys
captain.
go second. So they're going first. And those of you who don't have it open, there's the ship combat tracker. So if you go to your regular combat tracker and open that, up on the top left, there's a tiny little icon of a ship. You can click that, and that'll open the ship combat tracker. At least I'm pretty sure you as players have access to that.
There's a separate
Yeah.
ship combat
Yep.
tracker button among the buttons in the upper left.
That too, yeah. Six. 1, 2, 3.
Have they already fired on us, and is our ship damaged?
Yes and yes. 4, 5, 6.
Is there a place I can see what our shields look like?
He's going to turn.
And it's under the ship.
Ah, I see.
Going to turn like that. All right, so they are finished moving.
Yeah.
Ah,
Did you find it?
I did. Do we need to
So right now
move?
you
And
have
who
no
wants to-
forward shields. You have 5, 4, and 5 on your port, starboard, and aft. You have taken 9 points of
All right.
damage to your hull out of 40.
Who is moving us?
Phase. All right, so that is that can be anybody can do that as a minor action.
All right, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna plot our course. Our speed is what? Let's see. Our speed is. Where's it at?
Main page.
Shift, squawk.
I'm looking at it. What's it?
Power core
Starship.
defense systems. Not sure.
it's-
All right, so hold on. Your light
tells
freighter
us our-
your speed is
Yeah,
is incorrect. You don't have thrusters. Give me just a second here. I'll find the ship. You are a Starhive drone.
Yeah, thrusters. What do we have? Oh, we have thrusters. They're just not noted.
What the heck?
do we want to outrun them or do we just want to teach them a lesson?
They're already shooting at each other. Why stop?
That's a good question.
Starhive drone 2. Okay, maybe that's why this isn't working. Let me check one other thing. Use a light freighter. Oh, I bet you I know what happened. Hold on a second. Library. I apologize for the delay, guys. Well, for now, your speed is. I'm almost positive it was 10. So we'll say your speed is 10.
Meaning 10 hexes or
Yeah.
Yes, it might have been 8, but we'll just go with 10. Actually, no, I take that back. It is 8. Yep. So your speed is 8. And you know their speed is 6.
And we're moving first, or they move first.
They already moved, so it's now your move.
All right, there we go.
Remember, you don't have to go 8. You can go up to 8.
I want to use the full 8 and end
1,
facing
2,
that
3,
way.
4, 5, 6. All right. Distance.
And that was the
Just
ship's
looking for the
movement.
right scene if I have. Legendary Planet
Oh,
Guide.
the purple arrow shows my facing. I wanted to be facing that way. One to the right of where we're facing now. I don't think it'll let me change face. Nope, one the other way. There. And give me a sec. As my turn in the helm phase, I would like to divert.
Just waiting for my fancy rounds to catch up, guys. Encoding. Okay.
4 points. Let's see how many I can divert.
Come on. Here it is.
Or not divert, balance. I want to balance shields, redirecting power from one quadrant to protect another. I'm going to be moving the 4 points from the starboard quadrant to the forward quadrant.
All right, give it a roll.
yes.
Nice.
The starboard shield has 0 now. The forward shield has 4.
Okay.
And that is my turn on the helm phase.
Do we have a way of knowing what if they're scanning us or not at any particular time?
We'd have to be scanning them to know that, I think. As we get higher level, there might be, ECM modules or other things that we can do that'll hook us up with that.
Oh, you
But
kidding me?
as Will Smith and Men in Black would
That's
say,
why.
we got the old and busted joint.
That's NPCs. I want ships. Are you kidding me right now? Okay. I apologize, guys. I found what I was looking for now. Yes, your speed is 8. Did you get the ship I just sent you, Jingo?
I did.
All right, so that's not the normal player version, but that has all the information on there. Except for
All right.
obviously just ignore the crew and stuff like that. But your main details right there. All right, so gunnery phase. We have 2 gunners. So who's shooting what? We have Loki and we have Verti.
I'll shoot whatever else can be shot.
Arrow lasers.
All right. So as the gunner, you can do the fire at will, which means you can fire any 2 starship weapons regardless of their arc, but you get a -4. And then the other one can shoot the regular ship. So the problem is the way you're facing, because he's facing away, your gyro lasers won't come
I,
into play. So you'll have to do fire at will in order to use your gyro laser.
oh wait, for some reason I thought the gyro lasers were in a turret, but
Yeah. They are not turreted.
Nope, they are on the facing forward.
well, I can
Alright,
still use fire at will. I'll
we
just
need to
have
work on
lower
that, though.
chance to hit.
So,
Yep, and then the other one can use the starboard. I mean the port torpedo launcher.
yeah, yes, that would be that one.
Now, could we use the other torpedo launcher and have it switch around and track?
Right.
Since it is
So
a track.
Verti can fire the gyro lasers and the starboard torpedo launcher, and then Loki can fire the port torpedo launcher, and Loki will not have any minuses. Verti will have a -4 to each one.
Why would he have a -4 to each one if he's
Because they're not in the arc where they can see, because they're forward facing.
Okay, got it.
All right. So right now, first of all, let's start with Loki. Bobby, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. So you will be firing at number 2. Let me switch the targeting.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and take your shot with your torpedo.
Oh, how do I do that again? Why does that keep closing on me?
Well, it's
Go
not
to
everybody
your
did.
ship's tab on your character sheet.
Yeah.
Click the black box under actions.
It's blue, but
And then on the next to where it says
okay. Shoot.
port,
Yeah.
the one of the light torpedo launchers says port. So
Yep.
click the little circle next to that one, and then up above it'll say shoot.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Oh, I thought I had it. What? I thought you. I did. Okay. So, on one of the. Okay. I'll just put that back the way it was. Try this again.
And the blue circle underneath ATK.
So I got to have an arrow or a check mark in the next to the weapon I'm trying to shoot, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. I don't know why that didn't work before I had it.
And you're going to doing the same thing, Logan. So if you want to get ready for that.
Okay. So make that safe port. Okay. Got the check mark. Got the there.
All right. So 18 is a hit. So
Thanks.
now just roll the I believe it's double click on the damage.
So I just select the other 3 and then fire
that was
it.
on the. All right, so they are facing you directly, so that is their forward arc. Forward. Apply. All right, so now yes, we'll do one at a time. You don't have to do the gyro laser, both of them. Just pick any one of the gyro lasers, and then hit fire at will, the attack button under fire at will.
So just the torpedo and then the gyro roller. Okay.
All right, do one at a time.
It said no attack arc selected. I definitely had it selected.
Yeah, it did that same thing to me.
So where's if it doesn't change, I don't know if changing it on one character sheet works or not, but if it doesn't, underneath firing arc, click that until it says forward for the gyro laser and starboard for the torpedo launcher.
When I click the little symbol, it doesn't change. Oh wait, never mind. I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, under the word firing arc.
Yeah,
All right,
misses.
and then so that was the torpedo launcher versus their target lock. So go ahead and do the gyro laser.
Oh. It's only about half full. How much do you need?
I only have a +2 to hit. Normally, but then I have a -4 from the fire at will.
Correct. All right, so 11 is just enough. They're able to, you're hitting the ship, but not able to pierce through it. All
I
right.
heard you.
So we're back. They're going to fire back at you.
Okay.
So one of them hits. The second one cannot fire because you are out of its range, out of its arc. So if you could, next time, make sure you're in front of the ships. That way they can fire at you. They would appreciate it.
It would.
Uh, I'll be right back.
My bad.
All right, so you took no damage because it only did 5 damage, and that's what your shield was. But now you have no shield on your port or your starboard. So there is one thing that allows you to repair shields, and that is called.
You can boost. You can divert as a
Yes,
divert
so it's
action.
divert. So it's an engineer thing, and you can do it as a divert. It will allow you to get 5% of your PCU rating, which in your case is 90. So 5% of 90 is 4. So you'll get 4 shields back if you divert successfully.
So do I do that now?
So we're looking at role setup right now. You guys gonna? So we have 2 engineers, we have 2 gunners, and a magic officer. Is that still correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm switching to engineer this round, so that is correct. You could do the shield boost, and I was going to do an engine boost. Can we both do divert actions to do different things?
Correct. As long as you're diverting to different sections, yes. You couldn't both divert to the same thing.
So I'm diverting to shields and you're diverting to engines?
Yeah, let's just survive these fools and outrun them. We'll shoot at them until we get away. We're faster than they are, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
just outrun them. If we can kill them in the process of leaving, let's do it. But let's prioritize getting away from them over killing them.
All right, so that brings
Because,
us to our
they
engineering
hit
phase.
hard.
So they can scam and attack other people.
Not our problem.
I mean, yeah, guess.
We can notify the authorities and we can. I'm sure if we tell the Midnight Corps that these guys were trying to shake down their operatives, they might do something about it.
Yeah, that's true.
They
But
might
also,
send us to do with it.
So are
They
we in
might
that
do
phase
nothing,
now?
but
our ship isn't that strong. That's the problem.
yeah, if we had a pirate hunter ship, I'd be all for tracking them down and then going after other pirates after that.
I mean,
but we
the
don't.
problem is I'm just missing.
Yeah,
I bet if I hit everything, I didn't miss. Well, that's true for basically everything. Never
well,
mind,
yeah,
stupid
we're
analogy.
not. This isn't a combat vessel, and we're not a combat crew.
All right, so
we're
your
doing
engineers, go ahead
the
and do
best
your
we
engineering.
can.
Yes.
Excellent. So you get 4 points of shield back. Where do you want them?
Nice.
Where do we need them?
Port side.
You have 5 forward,
Well,
5
right now,
aft, and then 0 port, 0 starboard.
So
Port
let's get
side.
them on the port side.
Put them all on the port
Next.
side, and we'll try to keep the port side facing him. All right. Oh,
Doc.
close my window. Yep. Let's see. Divert.
nice.
Oh.
All right. So what happens with the? Do you still have that link for the
Let me
critical?
look it up here.
Because if you don't, I have it somewhere.
I have a bunch.
Downtime.
Critical effects. Is this the one we want? Okay, yes, this is it. Critical effects, engineer action. You also divert power to the maneuvering thrusters, lowering your turn value of your ship by 1 this round. We can turn on a 0, so we can basically any round go in any direction we want.
Awesome. All right. So that's the engineering phase. They did something on their phase. And that brings us to the helm phase. Go ahead and give me an initiative. I mean, never mind, you guys don't have things, so they're going to go. He's turning. Shift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so they have moved. It is now your turn to move. And Magic Officer, what are you doing?
I will do the Eldritch shot again for our. I think the torpedo, the rear-facing torpedo launcher.
Okay.
So let me see which one that would be.
So right now you guys are really close. So that's really not necessary. It's not really going to do anything. So if you want to switch to one of the precognition, well, you don't need that. So scrying would be a good one if you want to see what's going on with them. Or actually, Mystic Haze does require 6 ranks in mysticism. They just made a mistake and didn't write it in there. So you could scry if you want and learn about their ship.
All right, let's go ahead and scry
gunner.
Well, we already
so go ahead and roll for
scrying. What we're doing, right? Yeah. That 1 failure. Got a 5.
All right. Yes, 1 on the die is not going to be quite enough. So you and the cards tell you nothing. All right, so go ahead and move if you're going to.
Burn, baby, burn. And facing that way at the end of it.
All right, so when you hold the cursor over it and hold shift and use your mouse wheel, does it allow you to change the face? There you go.
It does now. It wasn't working earlier, but that might have just been lag on the table.
All right, so your aft is facing them.
Aft.
And one of them can fire at you. So he's going to do so. Go ahead and gunnery people. So you have nothing in the aft. So you all are not going to be able to normally fire. So you're going to have to do the, let's see if there's anything else I'm missing here. You can target a ship.
So if we're doing it,
Yeah, so you're both going to have to fire at will.
wouldn't I be able to fire the port side torpedo again? At number
This is
2?
why
I'm sorry,
Isn't
you are
that where our
correct.
aft arc is? We're there. Our port arc.
That's what
We're
I'm
both
going to
in our
do.
port arc.
Yes, he is
I'm
correct. Your
going,
port arc is ring 2 is in your port arc. You are correct.
and I'm gonna fire the port side torpedo at it. Number 2.
All right, go for it. All right, and are you going to go for number 2 as well with your 2 shots, Verti?
I mean, I would
No
like to go
reason
for the
not
one
to.
that we already damaged, which I think was number 1, wasn't it?
Go for it.
They're both damaged.
It's your shot. You decide.
But I thought we broke the front shields on
1,
number
2,
1, did we
3,
not?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I think we did, but they may have diverted
So
since
number
then. We
1
don't know.
would be at -2 in addition because of the range for the
Oh.
gyro lasers. The torpedoes are fine, but your gyro lasers would be at -6 total.
Yeah, I'll shoot at number 2 because I don't need any less chance than I already have.
Okay, so go for it. They're already targeted.
Guess it doesn't really matter what firing arc it's set to, because it's the same. And I hit with the torpedo.
That ought to hurt.
Very nice. All right, so roll your damage.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Now the gyro laser. Nope.
All right, so let's see what it does to number 2. Damage, here it is. That is their port. All right, and so I don't know, Jingo, when last time you did Starship Combat, but as you can see, it now does it automatically for you.
Yeah, I was listening to that.
So
That's
they
pretty
got a
slick.
critical hit on their sensors, so their sensors are now glitching. You did 5 damage to their hull. They did have 2 shield points left on their port side, and now they have none. AC is 14, and they missed. So they it came close. It slammed into your shields, but it didn't do enough to pierce it. All right, probably last round. Back to roll setup. You guys want to stay where you are, or are you going to switch?
I want to stay where I am.
I'm saying,
All right, engineering. Do your engineer stuff. You are still down shields, so if somebody wants to do that, you can.
I'm giving us a speed boost.
and I will do the shields.
Very nice. All right, so you have 4 left. Did you want to put them on your aft?
Wherever we're low,
Do
yes.
we not have any? Do we not have any aft shield left?
No, you have 5 aft, but they are to your aft. The odds of them getting next to you.
Will divert let us push our shield above its normal max?
There is no max. I mean, your max is 20 shields. You can put them all on the same sector
Okay.
if you want.
Sweet.
Then yes, let's put them on our aft.
All right, so you have 9 shield in the aft now, and you are boosted with your speed. So here's the helm. They're going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, wrong button. There we go. All right, so that is where they are with their prospective facings. You may move.
Pour on the speed.
Speed.
Later, boys.
All right, so you are at medium range or at beyond your first increment of both of your, of your linked gyro lasers, and your torpedo launcher is not going to hit them this round. They will hit them next round. So they're actual torpedoes flying through the air like ships do nowadays in the water. So the torpedoes have a speed of 12, and you're just beyond that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
As a free action, can I open the comm link and say, "Give it up, gobos"? Better luck next time, and hope you have a better ship, because we certainly will.
Very nice. All right, so gunnery phase, last shots.
So it'll be at a -6, right?
For the gyro laser, yes. For the torpedoes, it'll be normal, but like I said, they just won't hit till next round. And for Loki as well, it'll be at a -4.
Okay. So am I do?
Modifier is
So
-4.
do I click fire at will or shoot it normally?
Oh, I did the wrong one. You can either do fire at will or down in the bottom in the modifier, put -4. Fire at will is on as faster and easier.
All right.
Miss.
Well,
All right, and their shots don't even come close to hitting you guys at this range.
so
And
does it automatically apply the extra -2 for the gyro laser?
no, you'll have to put a -2 in the modifier, please.
Shooting at number 2, just because
Okay.
it's a slightly closer.
That is a hit.
Oh, it actually
Very
hit.
nice. So go ahead and roll your damage. All right, and did you divert to the... Okay, nobody diverted to the weapons this time. It was engines and
Off
shields.
shields.
Okay, so that still counts as a 1. That is forward, apply, forward, apply. Ting, 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 ting. All right, so take a little bit more damage. And just go ahead and fire your last torpedo.
Me? Oh,
And that is not at a -6, just -4. And that
Man,
is a
we
miss as well.
just can't hit with any. You can only hit with one weapon per round. It seems.
And you hear coming over your comms, um, we have your ship's information, and next time you guys show up, there'll be an additional 200 credit fine.
We'd rather owe it to you than to cheat you out of it.
And that brings us out of combat.
Are they breaking off? Can I get
Yes.
one last scan on them to maybe ping their transponders so that we can identify these specific ships if we encounter them again?
So they are at medium range for your scanners. So it'll be at a -2. And go ahead and do your computers. Now you do get a +1 from your ship, so that'll be -4, -1.
See. I should have done it from the ship. Here, let me
13. All right, so
actually do it from the ship here. I have to switch to science officer. And scan. Unless you want to
all
take
right,
the
so
first roll.
with a 22, you learn so what is it that you said you were looking for, the actual transponder
Just
information?
like the ID, basically, I want to get a picture of their license plate, so to speak. That way, if
All
we
right,
run
so
into
yes.
these two particular ships again, we will know that it's these two particular ships.
All right, so you are able to obtain that information, and with that particular roll, I'll say you get them both. So if you want to make a note of that somewhere, you have that information. All right, and so with that, you are now free of them and shooting toward the sun. Did you want to go into the drift, or did you want to stay in normal space? The difference is, I believe it's 1 or 2 days, because you're staying within the system. And if you look at the map, it's not that far. If anything, it might hurt you to go into the drift. But then again, it all depends on how lucky you feel.
I say we stay normal.
Yeah, let's just go normal.
All right, so cruising along. So the reason why it's so in system it's 1d6 days for in the drift, and outside the drift it is 1d6 plus 2 days. But because you are on Akaton, and because of the roll you made, you guys make it in. Looks like it's going to take you 3 days to get there. All right, so Doc, you forward the information to Midnight Core.
Yep. Yep.
Let me
Just let them
push
know. Hey,
long
these
rest.
guys tried to shake us down as we were breaking gravity. Yay, long rest. I don't know if they want to do anything. I don't expect them to do anything. I just figured, hey, they're out here shaking down your people. And maybe a footnote that we don't intend to let them fly away from the encounter the next time we run into them. So close to second level.
All right, and so with that, you guys get a long rest. Did you want to do any kind of research or special things as you guys are cruising along toward the sun? You
I want to
have
do some research on the sun.
perfect.
I'm going to spend the time teaching my squawks to slip things into other people's pockets. So every once in a while, you guys are going to find like a small, like 2 or 3 grapes or a coin or something in one of your pockets, and you might even catch the squawks putting it in there. It'll always be harmless stuff, but you reach in your pocket, and you pull out something like, what the fuck? How'd that get in there?
All right, and so as you guys are cruising along, you are able to find out some more information on the sun. Are you going to share it with the rest of the group?
Engineer.
Twitch, are you going to share the information with the rest of the group?
What information?
You said you were going to do research on the sun.
Okay, I am doing research on the sun, but I didn't get any research information.
Right, and so
Hey,
I'm
Mother
asking
Maya.
if you're going to share it with everybody, so I'll say it to everyone, or if you want me just to
Oh,
tell you.
yes. Yes, I will share it with everyone.
All right, so you find out that pretty much everything revolving around the sun nowadays is involved with the Church of Sarenrae. And I'll go ahead and type that in the chat for you. So the Church of Sarenrae is, they worship the sun. And there was a priestess, a woman who had grown up on Avalon and had taken a crew to
Excuse me.
search to explore the sun and do more research, and they found that there were bubbled cities down on the surface of the sun. Ancient cities that were encased in these type of protective bubbles, and they tried to get there, but their ship was about 100 years ago. Um, they these priests and scientists tried to take a ship down there, and as the heat just blasted their ship, they were about ready to succumb to the gravity and the radiation when they happened upon a tunnel that allowed them to travel to one of these cities.
Shielded tunnel, huh?
Correct. So Sunrise Station is similar to the Far Portal Station in that it was a space station established to study the sun, and that's where they came from. And so it says a tunnel opened up in the plasma that allowed them to pass safely into the bubble city that became known as Dawn Shore. So, but pretty much since then, the Church of Sarenrae controls who goes in and out of these bubbled cities. They're not that restrictive. It's basically like it used to be when if you wanted to go down to Mexico, as long as you weren't actively carrying a bunch of drugs or smuggling humans in plain sight, they will let you go through for the most part. They try to keep some of the worst of the riffraff out of there. But you do have to go through their check station to have access to these tunnels that allow you entry into the Dawn Shore and the other stations. Asana Town is the other huge, large bubble.
These being treated as like vacation spots or studying for scientists or anything in particular? Or they just
Both, exactly. So they're known. People go there for vacations. People go there to study. People go there for religious purposes for the study. Since the last 100 years, the worship of Sarenrae has uh, multiplied by 10 the number of people that worship Sarenrae, and in no small part to this founding of the Dawn Shore. Um, and let's see. So you do know that there are the large majority of people in the Sun's cities are Lashunta. Probably about 60% of them are Lashunta, and then followed by about 20% human, and then the rest of it is just a mix. Um, while you're doing is so that's the basic information that you find out about the sun. I'll give you a little bit more information later on. I'll fill in some more as you get closer to it. Um, so that is what Twitch and Doc are doing. Uh, what is Loki doing during that time?
I don't know.
All right, just chilling back and relaxing.
Yeah.
Virgie, what are you going to be doing?
What like facilities are on this ship?
So there's not a whole lot on this ship. There's just basic. There are some like VR goggles. So there's some you can go transport yourself to a a beach setting, or if you wanted to play, there are different games. There are different you know that you can use. It's not like a holodeck, but it is like a virtual reality thing.
Reminds me, I should probably do that. Just have my VR headset sitting in a box. I haven't used it in a while. uh, hmm. Yeah, maybe doing that a few times. I don't know.
Okay.
Not really that much to do.
All right. Orindor, what are you going to be doing?
I'll be doing a little bit of research. If this is like I'm assuming like I was asking before, it's not like you can go live there. It's like Machu Picchu. You can go visit, you can study, but that's pretty much the extent of it. You're not like going down to live in the suburbs, nothing like that. So,
Oh, there are absolutely now there are societies down there. There's people that live there, people that grow up there.
It's a city. We could live there if we wanted to.
Right. It's not millions
Okay.
of people, but there are. It is definitely a civilization.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll peruse the
Worlds.
what's going on with the news and whatnot over the past period of time, and looking for anything spectacular. I'll jot some notes down in my journal that I can share with other people later on, my friends and buddies. Just generally hanging out, but doing a little bit of research to find out what's going on. This is a very interesting thing to be participating in.
All right, and the cities are called the Burning Archipelago, however you pronounce that.
Archipelago.
And that's there. That is the conglomeration of these bubbles. There are the largest by far is Dawn Shore, and then there are 4 other larger ones, 3 others slightly smaller, and then a bunch of other really small ones.
They're all in the same sun.
Yes, and they are. You do know that you can travel between these bubbles. There are certain sort of like railways or trams type things that are set up that you can travel between them. Let me check one thing real quick.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check on William.
Too quiet.
There it is. Boink. All right, so it gives you a little bit of a taste. You find some couple images that give you an example of what this looks like. Asana Town is, like I said, the Dawn Shore. Asana Town is the third. This is the map of Asana Town. It is 3 down, so you have one larger than this, and then one even larger than that. This is 3 down. Asana Town, and then the smaller ones are down below that. So it just gives you a quick idea of what it looks like and how these things are set up.
Assuming that the reason that they're like theirs is for energy, so that everybody has plenty of energy and they can do things that require great energy. Or it's just
don't
So
because
think-
these were not built by anybody that knows. These were found. So these cities were already made and already existed. They were empty. There were no remains. Nobody knows who built them. That's one of the things that they're studying. One of the things that they're still ongoing investigations on. There have been speculation that whoever built these also built the far portal, but there has been no proof of that up to this point. So exactly how
So
these were built and what they were used for, nobody really knows.
Okay. It seemed like the abundance of energy would be a key thing there.
Apparently, people on the inside of it are entirely protected from the sun.
Yes. So Orndor is going to try his psychokinetic hand a bit, see if it is increased or decreased or has any sort of fluctuation. See if it can move around little objects.
Okay. So psychokinetic hand is not like mage hand. It's more if you think of telekinesis, it's more just pushing
Right.
things and moving things. Um,
Yep.
Adept
Well,
manipulation isn't what it's made for. But if you continue to work on that and practice that, then as you level up, I will allow that you might be able to unlock that mystery to where you can do
okay.
that later on.
All right. Well, I'm going to experiment with it anyway while we're here.
Okay. All right, and so you do find out a couple things. One, as you're getting closer, the first day goes by uneventful. The rest of this day and the following day go by uneventful. You're now about 14 hours away as you're closing in on the sun and getting close to the far portal station. As you're traversing around the sun's corona to get to the far portal station, you do find out that Midnight Corps did win or was granted right of salvage for the Breath of Embers. So the Breath of Embers now belongs to the Midnight Corps. And there's also been a couple different stories talking about when the far portal station, just before it started to descend into the sun, there was a huge psychic blast that emanated from somewhere within the sun. And all races that have telepathy, like Lashunta and Sheeran, were dazed by this and took a couple minutes to recover. It was so strong. And following up on that, there's the story. You learn that this is people who live in the sauna town, Lashunta and things, or even people in the far portal station, are sort of used to having this sort of sense of dread, this telepathic um, feeling like somebody's right there behind you all the time, and they become used to it over time.
Right.
But there's never been an outburst like this before. And then immediately after that happened, Far Portal started descending into the sun. So they don't know how these two things are related, but it's pretty clear that they are.
Okay.
So the psychic blast came out of the sun or the portal?
The research seems to indicate it came from the sun. It was not people closer to the portal did not matter. People in the sauna town felt it. People outside and at the far portal felt it as well.
Right.
All right, so you guys make it to far portal station.
Yeah.
And as you disembark, well, actually, about an hour before you get there, Doc, you get another communication from them saying that there is a Sheeran and 2 humans who are going to be taking your ship and returning it back to Absalom Station, or for repairs and
So what
for
do you think?
rebranding, and that your crew has been granted the Breath of Embers.
Sweet.
The
The hot
party
tub
ship?
pleasure barge is ours.
So it is in the process of being refurbished and re-outfitted with better weapons.
Yes.
And going forward, you will have, as long as you guys stay within the employ of Midnight Core, then they will continue to upgrade it, and you will then have more say on what's on the ship and in the ship, as far as weapons and outfitting and things like that.
Wow.
Nice.
So shouldn't we take that food replicator we stole off the ship in the first place and put it back on it?
I'm sure they've already installed a new one.
All right, so as you guys get there, let me find.
When we make second level, Doc will gain an ability that allows him to actually heal hit points.
Oh, that'd be cool.
If I choose to take that ability, which I think I will.
All right, so let me share this with you guys real quick. All right, so Jingo, I saw your hand up. Do you mind reading that for me?
Not at all. The Burning Archipelago is a bizarre place, even by Pact World standards. Floating in mysterious bubbles of force within the sun's plasma seas, the structure is an island of habitability amid astronomic fire, reachable only through special protective tunnels Serenite explorers discovered a century ago. Several generations of settlers have since turned the structures within the bubble into bustling hubs of trade and tourism. That bad, huh? Everybody left?
All right, and Roberta, would you mind reading the second one?
Hang on. Talking.
Where are you reading from?
Chat.
Dawn Shore,
Anything.
the central bubble, generates the archipelago's primary entrance tunnel, making it the main spaceport. But the other bubble cities can easily be reached through line crawlers, ferries that move along the tethers of energy that tie the bubbles together. Despite their interconnection and interdependence, the bubble cities are not unified under the same government. Each is its own independent entity, recognized equally in the Archipelago Senate on Dawn Shore, alongside representatives from various powerful corporations and non-governmental organizations.
For those of you that like to save notes, if you're not aware, you can click and grab that text and drag it into one of your save bars on the bottom.
Macros in the bottom? Or no notes?
No, in your little macro bars.
Okay.
Anything, you can also put skill checks down there and all kinds of things.
Right.
The last thing you guys learned about is the The sun is also called the Burning Mother by that's the literal translation of the Lashunta name for it of Mataras is the Burning Mother, and a lot of people will refer to, especially people who worship Sarenrae, will refer to
Right.
it as the Burning Mother. All right, so as you guys get off the ship, you see this a Lashunta. She is pacing and as soon as you start going down the little gangplank, she makes her way quickly towards you. She's wearing these gray overalls with lots of pockets, um, and she does a quick scan of the party and heads toward Doc.
All right. Well met.
I'm Dr. Taurus Soloro, one of the researchers here. I specialize in magnetospheric monitoring and solar weather prediction with, well, let's just say I make sure nobody gets cooked. And she extends her hand.
I am Dr. Cullen Dade, captain of the, well, I guess we're the Breath of Embers now. This is my crew. They can introduce themselves. We were sent here by the Midnight Corporation. Tell us what it is we can do for you.
Have you? I don't know how much you have learned since you left, but there was this large shock wave that went out. It was sort of like opening an airlock with no suit, especially those of us, Lushunta and other Shirin and others who are telepathic, were severely affected by this. Lashuntas on the burning archipelago feel similar psychic pressure all the time, but it was never near that strong. So combine that with the portal going for a dip, it's my professional opinion that things have just gotten, well, deeply weird. We need to know everything about
I
this.
concur.
And
Okay.
that's why I'm going to be on your ship when you leave in, say, 10 minutes. And you're gonna tell me how many organs I have to sell to pay for that privilege. Deal?
Mm, I'm not familiar with the Shinta anatomy. Which of your organs are worth the most? Only kidding. Only kidding. No, you are more than welcome aboard our ship.
Indeed.
All right, and so as you're there, now that you are close to large sending and receiving stations, things that have uh, give me
Wi-Fi.
just a second. Yes, that's basically Wi-Fi. Yes. There it is. You get some more messages sent to you saying that she is your point of contact, and you are pretty much with her until she says otherwise, or until you receive more information. Other until you receive other orders to contrary.
She'll be a science person for the most part on our ship.
So you see there are robots moving your gear over to the Dawn of Embers. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do before you jump into the Dawn of Embers and head toward the burning archipelago?
No.
Any more research or anything you wanted to do now that you know a little bit more about what's going on?
No, all this psychic stuff sounds more bent towards mysticism and magic and not so much scientific.
All right, so you guys get on to the Dawn of Embers. You see that it's been cleaned up, and you see that the holes in the outer hull along that one side have been sealed, so there's no longer that danger that was present before from when you open the airlock. And you see that all the stuff that you guys did and all the stuff that your weapons did have been cleaned up and taken out and taken care of. And it is ready to go.
Nice.
Ah, that new ship smell.
Oh, that hot sauna room. Here we go.
I hope they changed the flame jet room to something else. Right now, I imagine it hasn't been reconfigured.
Yeah, so all the traps have been. So there were only one or two actual traps. The rest of them were just malfunctions. So the rest of all of that has been taken care of and is now completely safe to use as long as you don't burn yourself or do something silly.
So the flaming burn room is still there right now. We can call it the unwanted guest suite.
Yes, but it's not. Like I said it's
The
this.
flaming jets are not there. That was a malfunction.
They're there. They just don't do that unless you want them to. This is for, as you've been, nobody's really done any research on it, but this is from the plane of fire, and you have from the different things that you've encountered on the ship, including the crew, the Azer that you killed, the other Afreet that you found out from the hologram and stuff. Those are all people from the plane of fire. It came from the plane of fire through the portal. So they're like Twitch, they're used to hotter environments and things like that. So it's still there, but like I said, there is no danger to anybody.
I'll be spending a lot of time in that room.
Oh,
All right, so
Are
as you
you
guys
immune to
leave Far
fire?
Portal, you start making your way, start putting in the coordinates. It's going to take you a day and a half as you have to travel around the sun to get to where the passageway is that leads to um, the main place, and then you're going to be heading to Asana Town. Is where you're going to be going. She explains that um, she's already secured permission to serve as their representative of the scientific community to the Burning Archipelago. They She has all the data about what happened regarding the far portal, and so she's going to be it's easier to actually exchange this information in person than it is to try to transmit it, especially with all the radiation and things that are involved in the corona of the sun. And so she was chosen because of her expertise, but also because she's of a junior position. But she was also raised in Asana Town, and she knows the scholars on the Burning Archipelago.
Okay.
She has ties to a researcher at the Deep Cultures Institute, where you guys are headed. This organization is dedicated to finding and contacting the theoretical deep cultures that might exist far within the sun. She doesn't know what might be responsible for what just happened, but she believes it's important to try to cast a wide net and get as much information as she can. So let me share that. Anybody who wants to take notes? All right, everybody give me a sense motive check, please.
That's on the main page,
In the
right?
tower.
Excuse me.
Yes, please. In the tower, sense motive is on your skills page.
So,
Boom, boom, boom. Boom.
My Squawks companion has joined us.
Orin. So, Orin, you notice that she flushes slightly when she mentions the Deep Cultures Institute. Did you want to pursue that angle at all?
I'm just gonna take note of it. I'll talk to probably Twitch later on.
All right, so you guys have a little bit more time. Did you guys want to do anything else as you head on down?
I will just chat with Terrace, learn about our new traveling companion.
All right, give me a DC 15 diplomacy check. All right, and that's what
Not
Doc
today.
is doing. Twitch, you going to be doing anything in particular besides spending some time in the sauna?
We're still docked. We haven't left yet.
No, you guys are on your way. You have about a day and a half.
We've got a day and a half. Then no, I'm just gonna chill out in the sauna. I'm good till we get there.
All right, Loki, did you want to do anything?
yeah, I'll chill out too.
All right, and Virtue?
Just chilling, I guess. I don't know. Guess check. So is it more or less the same facilities on this ship as the previous one?
No, this one is the one that you guys were exploring before. So this has a hookah room, several
It's
different
exactly the
VR
same ship.
sections. There's a sauna room.
There's that really
Guess
nice kitchen.
tour around the ship, get used.
Yep.
I don't know.
There's
Orinder is going to spend some time with computers and in engineering. Again, becoming familiar with the ship as well as learning whatever systems it has and their use, how to run things.
so that is a
Did
map of the ship.
you have line of sight lighting on?
Well,
So
that's a good look.
oh,
There
there
we
we
go.
go.
Oh, that's better.
So
There.
you have the crew quarters that are now repaired. Up here, you have the armory and gear room. Up here, you have the main bridge. You have
Kitchen.
yep, the the eatery. You have a nice entertainment room, and then you also have the little sauna room in here, little swimming pool. You have a really nice med bay. Your two cargo bays, and then engineering in the back. And you also have a small shrine to Serenray. So it's just a matter of determining where everybody is staying. You guys can think about that and let me know next week, next time we play, who if somebody's going to be taking the 2 individual rooms.
We can divide them up and share, though, couldn't we?
We could. There's also a crew quarter. I'm not a needy person. If somebody else were to want the fancy rooms, I'm okay with it. Doc could sleep on one of the cots in the med bay if he had to, but he's just fine. He's just fine in the crew quarters if somebody else, or we could turn those rooms into something else. We could give up space and maybe, at some point add more other things to it. But for right now, or maybe we'll just take turns.
So as you're studying the ship, Orindor, you find out you do have a brig, and the brig has one-way like mirrors and walls, so you can see into the brig from the room, the main cabin there.
Okay.
You guys also have a tech lab now, so you have access to the tech lab.
So I'm interested in all that stuff.
And you
All that good stuff.
find out there was an assembly ooze there.
Ooh.
So you put things in it and you put raw materials into it, and it either breaks it down from what it was and then refashions it into certain things. And that has been removed and reassigned somewhere else, but you still have the tech bay.
I like it.
All right, so you guys head on down to the outer ends of the magical tunnel leading down into Dawn Shore. Go well beyond the sun's flame, so your normal starship can gain access to it. The Sunrise Station is a Serenite-controlled military base that monitors all the traffic in and out of the burning archipelago. Access to the sun itself is a right of all Pact World citizens, but the archipelago is another story. Serenites control only Dawn Shore, so they can refuse only those who lack legitimate business in one of the bubble cities. And basically, it's mostly for people who don't arrange their visits in advance. You guys have. So as you guys get closer, as Sunrise Station comes into view, and there's an ornate monitoring port adorned to identify it as a Serenite facility. Rings of dark metal float in the space beyond. And
This is quite impressive.
you are hailed by the station. A human man in gold clothing with blue trim. Blessings of the Dawnflower be upon you, travelers. Please identify yourselves and state your business in the burning archipelago.
We are the Breath of Embers, a ship registered to the Midnight Corporation, and we are here on behalf of the scientists of Far Portal Station. We're investigating the disappearance of the Far Portal into the sun, and our investigations bring us here.
Where was the far portal compared to where we are in these tunnels onto the surface of the sun?
The Far Portal hung out in the corona of the sun, which could be, millions of miles out from the sun.
So that's why it took you about a day and a half. You were about a day and a half away from, or about a day from the entrance to the tunnel. It took you about half a day to get down into
Right
where you are now. So you see him punching some information. You see a little 3D version of the Breath of Embers show up. You see a list of names and with little pictures show up on the in a list in front of him, and he says, "All right, well, it looks like everything has been taken care of. I see you have Terrace with you as well. Go ahead and you may proceed. Be safe and make sure that you follow the local laws. May the blessings of Sarenrae be with you."
And you as
also
well.
with you.
All right, and so he waves you on toward Dawn Shore, and you guys continue to take the ship down there. Who is flying the ship at this point?
If we don't have any other pilot, I guess I will do it.
Got it.
All right, so
You
the
want to
mouth of
roll?
a tunnel swirls into existence as a shimmering vortex in one ring of the dark metal near Sunrise Station. It stretches down like a funnel into the stellar atmosphere. So you head on down there, and it's soaring through a tunnel of flame is it's pretty surreal. But at the other end, there's a similar dark metal gate, and you fly out of it into the burning archipelago.
Will you look at that?
Picture. We have a picture of that or no?
All right. No, there's no picture of this yet.
Okay.
All right. So Dawnshore Spaceport, you see this large, wide expanse of landing pads and launch pits. There's a diverse array of all these different types of ships, and a robotic voice just designates which one is yours. And so as you land, there's you see a uniformed Sheeran and a flying robot coming toward you guys. So he's carrying a toolkit. He's wearing coveralls, and the words Dawnshore Spaceport are on his chest. There's a 4-foot-long dragonfly-shaped robot hovering over his shoulder. He's wearing a ratty purple hat, with holes cut for his antennas, and he sort of tips it up. "Welcome to Dawnshore. I'm Nick Ost. I'm a mechanic for the Port Authority. Lux, my drone here, and I need to take a quick look at your ship to make sure there are no unshielded reactors, illegal mines, stuff like that. But don't let me get in your way, though. You're welcome to be about your business. I'll lock up behind myself and leave a log, or you can give you a call if I find any issues."
May I see some identification?
Mm.
I'm sorry, we've dealt with a lot of pirates recently, so don't take offense if we don't take your word for who you are.
Orndor will gladly escort him around if need be.
So give me
He's
a sense.
unassuming.
Guys
Sense
can give me
motive.
sense motive checks in the tower if you want. Also, those of you who are trained in engineering or culture can give me a roll in those as well.
I feel like I just put my points in the wrong things this time around.
Oh, good.
All right, so
There are
Loki.
enough skills that you can't have them all. Unless you're an operative.
All right, so Loki, you know this. So if you look at the background of your galaxy picture, you'll see that Abalon is the closest planet to the sun, and it's very similar to, I want to say, Coruscant, where it's mostly the entire surface is covered with city, um, and there's a lot of it's where most androids hail from. And let me give you this.
You may have to explain what that is. Ah, so yeah, I'm gonna share that information with everyone. And
All right, so as Loki sort of whispers, that's actually a Anasite wingbot from Abalon. So that pretty much tells you that that is not. So he might be still be a mechanic, but that's definitely not a drone. Um, you know that most mechanics either have an exocortex or they have a drone, and he said it was a drone, but so you know there's at least one hole in this story. So he sent you a little blip on your screen, and there's a little doc. There's a little blurb that says um, Nicost and has his list of different things they're looking for, a little checklist.
I will allow him on. I'll be right back.
I think though, after we get back to our ship, after he's had a go at it, that we should do a sweep of our ship.
I'm familiar with some of the systems and
How-
whatnot. And now that I've looked around, maybe I should escort him around, perhaps.
I mean, we could just check before we leave.
That's what she
I mean-
just said, though.
Yeah, do a scan before we leave, because I'm not so sure that they might not be planting like a bug or some kind of tracker or something in our ship.
It could be damaging some system that we wouldn't know until we get out and started using it. You wouldn't detect a damaged system. You might perhaps you would definitely detect a bug, assuming you have the technology to do so.
All right, so he goes onto the ship. You guys following Tessera?
Yes.
I think one or two of us should be with him while he's on our ship,
I think one would suffice.
and then the rest of us will follow the other.
I think Orndor should be the one.
Okay.
All right, so So as he's getting on the ship, Orndor, you're going to stay on the ship? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? All right. So as he comes on, you see he's turns, punches some buttons, and the door starts to close, and he says, "Lux, attack!" And we are rolling for initiative.
Wait, what?
So
Oh no.
It's not good.
Go to bed. It's bedtime. It's past bedtime. It's almost 10 o'clock. Go in there and go lay down. Listen to your music.
Can't. Wait, you're right.
So what we're going to do
27
is
videos.
everything is going to
Playlist
stop.
my music is missing from my music.
Well,
Bobby, you got to mute your mic, man.
And
You got to
we
mute
are
your
going
mic.
to take a moment, and during your last rest, everybody leveled up. So you guys are now level 2.
What?
So we'll go ahead and level up so that next week when you start this fight, you will all be level 2. So
Cool.
go ahead and grab your character sheets, look at your front page.
Okay. Under class and level.
So if you open up your class and level, click that little magnifying glass. Damn it. There it is. Then there's the piezo symbol. You can drag that down a little bit and let go next to your class, and it'll level
Okay,
you
cool.
up automatically.
Nice.
Cool thing is we don't have to worry about hit points, stamina points. Those are all taken care of for you. Level 2, none of you get, or your odd levels is where you get your feats.
Right.
So most of you won't get feats. Won't have to choose feats, I should say. Some of you will get feats and other things like that. So real quick, what I want to do is, first of all, did anybody still need to do that, or has everybody leveled up at this point?
I have
All right, so I'm going to start with Doc. If you look in your chat, you'll see there's a bunch of things that have been added. I'm not worried about stamina, hit points, things like that. Any abilities? What abilities were added to your character?
mine. I learned injection expert, which gives me a +1 to hit with my needler. And I learned theorem as a class feature, and I am leaning heavily towards taking field dressing as my theorem, because what it allows me to do is, as a standard action, I can use my custom. Let's see. I'm the studious, so a number of hit points equal to my key ability score modifier. At 4th level, that becomes a D6 plus my ability score modifier, which is currently 4. So, as an action, I can heal 4 hit points.
Ooh, that's nice.
All right. So you got a theorem and you got a injection expert. So
Injection expert.
where it says on your abilities page, where it says theorem, if you would please type in next to that whatever you decide on, whether it's field expert or anything else, just type what it is next to it. I would appreciate it. Let's go with Orandor. Loki, you can listen up as well because you're both getting the same thing. You should see Magic Hack.
Yes, feature Magic Hack added to Orandor Storm, as well as a theme Noble Scion for added to Orandor as well. There's Skyan.
All right, so you should, if you go to your abilities page,
Yep.
Both Loki and Orandor.
Magic Hack.
Click the symbol next to Magic Hack.
Yep.
You can make it bigger by pulling down in the bottom right corner where the little lines are, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see all the different magic hacks that you can pick from.
It's second level. These are all second level, it says.
Right, you're second level. You just turned second level.
Okay.
So Loki, are you with us? Do you see that,
It's
Bobby?
on the abilities page.
Yeah,
Class abilities.
Nope, I don't. It's not there on mine.
Did you do the level up on the main page, the class and levels?
No,
So
I
go to your
didn't.
main page.
It's just got the magnifying glass.
Right, click on the magnifying glass.
Okay.
And then you should have a little window pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Now click and drag the piezo symbol next to your class down just a little bit and let go. Perfect. All right. Okay. So now go to the abilities page.
All right.
And all of you can also go to your, while you're waiting for me to catch up with you guys, don't forget to go to your skills page and allocate your skill points.
Done.
So both of you look through those magic hacks. When you find the one you want, just type it next, just click on the line where it has magic hack and class abilities. Right. Click that line and type the one that you picked.
Okay.
So that way I can know and I can code it for you guys. And I'll come back to you guys in just a minute. Verti.
I get to pick some cool things. They're all interesting. I don't know which one to pick.
All right, so you get a discipline. Is that correct? Is that what it says in your?
Yeah,
okay.
Vanguard discipline.
All right,
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Next to, on that line, class abilities. Did you get anything? Let me look.
I also got mitigate, which is pretty interesting too.
Yep. So you got mitigate. Let me write those down.
It's really weird. You can use an entropy point to reduce the damage, but also, for some reason, you can, as a swift action, remove any damage resistance or energy resistance or AC benefit that you have. You don't gain anything from it. You could just remove it from yourself. I don't know what's the point in that.
All right, all my points are allocated. Doc has spent some time playing on the flight simulator. He now has ranks in piloting. I'm not a great pilot, but now I have ranks in it.
So I would I presume the reason you would do that is so that because if you don't take any damage, you don't get entry points. So if you have
Yeah.
DR that negates damage, you may want to reduce that a little bit so you can take more damage so you can get more entry points. That would be
Yeah,
my
it's
guess.
just kind of interesting. I think I'll take curative, or
So
I don't
type
know.
it in the class abilities next to Vanguard Discipline, what you want.
Okay.
All right, and that leaves Twitch.
I'm just still trying to decide.
I don't know where to find all this crap. So I've got a custom rig and a mechanic trick.
All right, so did you find the list of mechanic tricks?
No.
So if we go to your abilities page,
Go to my abilities page.
click the puzzle symbol next to mechanic trick,
Okay.
then scroll all the way down, and again you can
There we are.
widen that out if you want, and there's a whole list of them there.
Okay. Awesome.
So you don't really have to worry about anything that has to do with the drone. So like repair drone is clearly, you don't have to worry about that because you don't have a drone.
I could have a drone as a custom rig.
No, your custom rig is your toolbox. So, and you said you have like a fanny pack thing, I thought, or we haven't really gone into a whole lot of detail on that, but you have some sort of toolbox that is customized to you, whether it can be a hovering drone, small tiny thing that you just pick your tools from. It can be a fanny pack. It can be, I thought you said it was like built into your armor. I vaguely
It's
remember
built into
talking
my
about that.
armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's built into my armor.
So that's what a custom rig is. You have an exoskeleton. I mean, an exocortex as a instead of a drone. Soldier mechanic. Here it is. Shit. Sorry. Stream. Here it is. All right, so I was just looking here to see what you get at second level. A mechanic trick. Yeah, so pretty much the only thing you get is a mechanic trick. I know it says custom rig, but I think that's just a glitch. Because I'm looking at the book itself and you don't get anything special about your custom rig on second level. All right, folks, so I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream for now while you guys are looking and getting leveled up. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Like, subscribe. Come check us out in 2 weeks. Next week we have our regular, or not regular, but our high level group doing the Dead Suns campaign. So come check us out Sunday nights, 5:30 to 8. Whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.